Hello out there, all my friends in Origami Happy Land. I hope everybody's doing well and everybody's healthy today. I wanted to share something really nifty with you that I saw a video for the other day. I thought the video was kind of not so well done, and I thought I could do a better video and improve upon the design. From a fellow named Kevin, I believe, but he made an origami fish. I was looking up sharks and stuff actually the other day, but I came across this and it caught my attention. And so I practiced and practiced and practiced, and I learned what he had done. Took a lot of intuition, but I learned how to make this fishy fish. So, it's like a trout or something, I guess. But I want to make a video, and I wanted to see if I could demonstrate better how to do this right here so I could pass it on to you guys. So, without any further ado, swim away, Mr. Fishy. Let's get some supplies together. Okay, the things we're going to need for this, we're going to need sheet of paper, okay, standard printer paper. Let me adjust the camera here. Okay, you're going to either need a scissor or a paper cutter, something like this. You're going to need glue stick, and you may need some markers or pens. Okay, and this is what we're going to use to construct Mr. Fishy. All right, so let's get this stuff out of the way here and get ourselves situated. All righty. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take this sheet of paper right here. I'm going to take this corner, bring it down over here, match this edge to this edge right here. Okay. Now when you make folds, make sure you do the best that you can possibly do. Let me show you something here real quick. Let me zoom in just a touch here. Okay. This is the tip point of that piece of paper. I don't care how far off angle this is, right here when you're folding stuff. If you put that point together first and make the sharpest point you can and squish it down with the tip of your finger and make that point, okay, hold it down and let me zoom back out here real quick. Okay, if you've got that, after that you can always line your paper up after that, and you've always got that point perfectly sharp. And then you can flatten down the paper and make your fold. Okay, so I want you to make that diagonal fold across your paper with that perfect point on the end. Okay, now when you're making this fish, perfect points count for a lot. All right, now I'm going to use my paper cutter, but you can use a scissor if you need to. We're going to cut the extra length off of this piece of paper, and we're going to turn it into a perfect square. So let me line this up in Mr. Cutter here. Dun, dun, dun. I learned how to use this the right way the other day. There's two of these things on one of these right here, and this is what I learned the other day. You're supposed to put both of them in the center of whatever you're cutting. Take one and go that way, and take the other one and go that way. That way it doesn't make nicks or gouges in your paper when you come down here and go bang, 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 and then cut through your paper. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, we're done using that right there. Save that little piece of paper that you cut off, though, because you can probably use that to make a stand or something. Alrighty, let's take Mr. Paper, and we're going to take, let's see, we'll set it up way so the points are up this way. This is the paper. Take one side right here, pull it across to the other point over here. Okay, line up the edges. Hold that down with your finger like I was talking about. And boom, right down through the center of this right here. Perfect fold like that. So now you've got a piece of paper that looks like this. Okay, everybody caught up with me there? All right, now you have a split side over here, and you have a folded side over here. Over in this fold, you'll notice that it is 2 sheets of paper right now, one inside of the other. Okay, I want you to put this down flat like this, and this is very important. Okay, this is going to be your tail. Okay, and to let you know it's the tail, I'm going to put the letter T right here like that, so you always remember that's the tail. Okay, the next step that we're going to do, take this, let's rotate it 90 degrees, makes it easier. Fold this up here, fold it through the center like that. Okay. All right, unfold it. Let's flip the whole thing over, just like this. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Make sure you make a good point down here. Put this up here, match those together, get good points, and fold it. This is going to be your center baseline. Okay, just like that. Okay, let's flip it back around and rotate it back to this position here. Okay, let's straighten up all of our folds and our creases right here. I'll give you a second to catch up. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, to continue. This edge right along here, I want it to be folded through here so that it matches this edge up here. Okay? So grab this point here, very carefully bring this up, make sure that the two things are even here. Bring it up so it matches. Alrighty, and come over here, make sure those points are perfect points, because this ends over here are going to be the fins on your fish eventually. So we got everything lined up. The point is on the line. These points are good sharp points. So let's make a crease along here. Just like this, and let's make this a really good heavy crease here. Okay, now I like to use tools sometimes. If you don't have them, you can just use your fingernail, but a tool that I like to use is I have a good old-fashioned US military butter knife, big old solid thing. So I'm going to rotate this like this right here, get this line back up so it's just right, because that's a lot of sheets of paper here that we're going to be folding. Let's make sure everything's in the right position. Somehow I messed up my folds. Oh, I see what it is. They slid. Okay. Make sure everything's back where it's supposed to be at. Well, heck. See, that's why it's important to lock it down with your finger. Then we'll make our crease. And there we go. There's a good solid crease with points on the end. Good deal. All right. All right. And we use tools. Okay, so let's put it back to that original position with this right here like that. And you can see it's really hard to do that because there are several sheets of paper now thick. I think I heard somewhere before you can only fold a piece of paper over 7 times before it gets so thick that there's no possible way to fold it after that. Okay, but I think that's pretty true. Okay, now unfold that just like that, and it's going to leave a line all the way across here, and then you've got that line that you folded right here. Let's see, let me take a pen and I'll highlight that a little bit here for you. See, one line right there and one line right here. Okay, these are going to be important here in a little bit. All right, I want you to come over here about the length of a knuckle. All right, so let's put right here, and I'm just writing on this right here because for purposes of illustration. Okay, you're going to make a fold that goes from that point across here through an intersection with this. Okay, and the way you're going to know that is this line here has to line up on that point there. Okay, so it's kind of hard to explain this, so just watch very carefully. I will do this slowly. Fold over to this point here, make a crease point. Okay, then you're going to bring this center line, okay, and do your best to estimate where it's at. If you need to, flip it over, line that line up right there like that. Okay, you know it's on that. Pinch it with your thumb and set it down. But now you know that it's locked into position right there. Okay, that line has to go through that bottom point. Then crease your work over this way like this. Okay, if you don't, nothing else will line up properly throughout the entire diagram. Okay, let me take my tool right here. I just rotated it 90 degrees. Make a good fold. Rotate it back 90 degrees. Okay, so now we have this. Here's the tail still. You got this thing that kind of looks like a Klingon glyph, I guess. I don't know. All right, so pick the whole thing up, flip it over to the back side. Okay, I want you, see how we have this right here? I want you to take this corner over here, because remember this is still the tail over here. Take this over here and match that fold the other direction right here. I'm going kind of slow because I want everybody to see how these folds work, because it took me forever to figure out how that guy folded his stuff, because he went slow or he hit everything with his hands and didn't explain what he was doing. So I had to watch the video over and over and go frame by frame to see what he was doing. And I'm not chopping his video down. It was just kind of a poorly put together thing. Okay, so let's rotate it back up to that side up again. Okay, see how we've got this thing here? I want your entire thing to look like this. Okay, kind of looks like a big paper airplane kind of looking thing. All right, so let's set it back down again. Okay, now this triangle that's now over here, let's take this right here, let's fold it up along this edge right here. Okay, and make sure that it's a good even fold right up against that edge, because otherwise it's going to look really sloppy. Okay, and rotate it 90 degrees, and we'll just take the tool here and really crunch that in there. Okay, all right, take this whole thing, flip it over, and break the paper the other direction again. Okay, just exactly the same way. Crush that paper. I want you to really break that paper, because we're going to do an inversion here. Okay, do that over here on the other side again. Okay, so now we're back to where we were originally. Okay, pick this up, separate the two pieces of paper like this. Okay, this triangle that's here now, I want you to spread these apart with your two fingers, and where your thumb is, push up underneath there and flip that inside out, both pieces. Okay, and invert the folds just like this. Okay, so now everything should look like that. Pretty cool. Is it kind of starting to look like a fish? A little bit. Okay, now there are two pieces of paper in this right here. I want you to grab the inner piece right here, and I want you to flip it back this way. Okay, and slowly start bringing this back together. And I want you to pull out on this until when you're looking at it, it reaches there and there are even, and this is pulled all the way flush this way right here, okay? Then I want you to take your fingers and finish crushing in the fold, okay? When you do that, it should come to a nice crisp point, and if you look at it sideways, like this, oh, looky there, we've got a fish's tail. Fishy, fishy, fishy. And what's that song that we used to listen to? Fish head, roly poly fish head. Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago, kiddos. Okay, let's set this fish back down here, okay? Now, on this end over here, you're going to have two pieces just like this, okay? These two wings, all right? We need to convert these into fins. So, rotate this whole thing up 90 degrees. Remember when we made that one long triangle fold across the top there? Okay, lift this one layer up right here. See how that is? I'm going to show you, make sure. There's multiple layers in here. Along that fold line that's right here, bring that fold over again, okay? And there's going to be a chunk that's attached right here also, okay? Can you see that? Bring that over, okay? And match the edge to this edge right here, okay? Just like this. And make sure when you're folding this that it makes a nice sharp tip up here, okay? And it should pretty much line up right where it needs to go. And crease this into position like that, okay? Let's get some more light over here. Ta-da! And crease and crease and crease and crease. Nice. Okay, let's rotate it back 90 degrees and undo this again, okay? I want you to pick up this first pointy fin right here, and when you look under here, you see where this piece is underneath here? Imagine coming straight down from there. I want you to go from that point right there, come back about a half a knuckle, okay? So you're looking like, kind of like you see where the point is here. Let's just come kind of down from that point right there, all right? And I want you to put a little crease right there. Now, that crease straight up to that line right there, I want you to fold this over, matching this to this, okay? Let me illustrate how this works here, because this is a complicated fold. Here's your little crease that you made right there. Here's the point right up here. I want you to fold just like this right here, okay? You're not folding up here anywhere. You're folding on this line right here, okay? So let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, do you see how that is? So let's execute that fold by bringing this over and matching those things up, flattening it down, ding, and making that one fold there. You are not folding this right here, okay? Flatten that down right there really good. Now, let's rotate this back. There's that fold right there in the center, the center line again. I want you to flip this over it and close it back down just like it was. Take your finger, rotate this in position, flat like that, okay? And you're going to see that's going to make this kind of bowed up shape like this right here. All we're going to do is we're going to close this down on there just like that until it's closed, okay? And you're still going to have this loop of paper right there. What you're going to do while holding it down, flatten that down. Cool, all right? Let's make a good fold inside there. Use our tool here real good, okay? This is going to generate into one of our fins for us. You want to make sure that there is a gap right here, otherwise your fish will be short and stunted looking. So I'm going to flip this over and we're going to do the same thing on the other side again. All right, we're going to match this right here. This is that fold. Just make sure that it folds nicely and that everything's going to line up. Make sure it's got a good sharp point down there. Get yourself into position, just like that. Make sure that it works. Okay, let's open it back up. Pick up this one layer right here. Bring it over so it matches the point of the other fin with this one right here. Hold it in position so it's good. Flatten down the one fold right there like that. Okay. Then we're going to close the top down slowly but surely on top like that. And then here's that bow. Let's crush that down flat too. Nifty, nifty. Okay. Let's crush that and make it good. Okay, let's flip it back over to the top side first. Okay. Is it starting to look like a fish a little bit? Okay. You're going to see that this makes a triangle piece right here, and that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Okay, did you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. What I want you to do is grab the first one, like this, and where this line is right here, this edge, fold this triangle over that one. Just like this, and make sure it's good and tight. And put a crease right across there. Just like that. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. Okay. See how that's done like that right there? And let's make sure it's got a good crease. Unfold. Lift up this gill plate right here. Well, maybe it'd be even better if we just grab it like this. Lift it up. And we're going to invert that triangle back into the underside here, just like this. Okay, make sure everything's tucked under really nice and hidden. Okay, and look at that, that entire triangle that was sticking off there, that went away. Let's do that on the other side now. Okay, we're going to grab that triangle piece. We're going to fold it over, just like that. Get a good crease across it. Okay. And work it in there real good. Then we're going to lift that gill plate, and we're going to invert that triangle back underneath here. Just like this. Nice clean fold. Make sure all your pieces line up. Okay, and lay it down flat again. Oops, sorry if I was out of frame. See how we inverted that right there like that? Yeah, let's crush that a little bit right there. Let's zoom back out just a touch. Okay, so that's 2 of the 4 gone. So that leaves 2 more that are left. Okay, you can do the same thing and do that, or you can just take these and you can fold them up underneath here real quick like this, so they're just out of the way. 1 like that, and then move that center away and fold the other one up out of the way too, like this. Okay, once you do that, those are all out of the way. Oh my gosh, it's starting to look a lot like a fish, isn't it? Okay, now is going to come one of the hardest folds. Okay, this is called kiting. All right, I want you to take the fin, and you can, you know, move it down if you want to, and just make a sharp pointy fin, but this looks much better. Open the little pocket that's up inside there, where this edge of this gill plate is here. Fold this up like that, and crease it gently. Open this little pocket up so it gets wider and wider. Make sure you open it all the way down to this point right there. Okay, and then so it kind of looks like a little cat's ear, kind of. I want you to line it up and flatten it down. Let's see if I can do this in such a way that you can see how we're doing it. Flatten it down. And make sure you put it whatever direction you want your fin to be at. If you want it backwards, move it over a little bit, like this. Or if you want a forward fin, move it over like that. But you got this cat's ear right here. I'm going to make mine directly vertical, up and down. Okay. And then flatten it. Okay. Ta-da! There's a very nice fin. Okay. Let's turn this over. And on the other side, we're going to do the exact same thing. Okay. Let's grab the fin. Fold it over that gill plate right there to make a crease in it. Okay. Open it so it makes a cat's ear like that, and then we're going to kite it down so it matches the other one exactly, just like this. Boom. Okay, now you've got yourself pretty much a fish. How's that look? Now, there's different things that you can do also that make this look more realistic, but this is the basic fish right here. Something you can do that I did is I took the nose piece right here, so it looks more like a mouth. I folded over the tip edge, just like this. Okay, and undid it. Opened him in half this way, like this, and I put that piece inside. Okay, and that way when you close it, it gives it a bevel like the nose of a fish. Okay, also fish, their gills are kind of rounded. If you like this shape right here, you can leave it that way. I take it and I move this gill up about yay far, and I fold it in half this way like this, and put a good crease in there. Okay, unfold it, and then invert it just like we did with those other triangles. Invert that puppy right there, just like that. So it has a nice rounded shape to the gills. And that kind of makes your fins stick out a little bit too. Okay, so it looks even more like a fishy right there. And there's other ways of folding like back fins into it and yada yada yada. But the most important part is you got to take a marker and you're going to draw Mr. Fishy's got an eyeball. So we're going to put this right here like this. And there's the pupil like that. Cool. And fish have noses, so put a nose dot right there like that. Ta-da! And if you want to, you can color in the fins like this, because there's little tiny bones inside of a fin that help support the stuff inside. So it's kind of like the wing of a bird. So let's put some lines in here to represent those pieces. And as they go out, they kind of curve and they get wider up here too, because they come from this nub. It's kind of like a fan, you know, when you fold up a little paper fan when you go to church on Sundays and stuff. Alrighty. We'll just draw these in here. And just decorate Mr. Fishy like this right here. Yay. And fins like that right there. And these fins down here, you know, let's do the same thing right here for those. They kind of go this way, and they kind of fan out like this, this, right there like that. And most fish have something called the sensory line, okay? And on most trout, that line tends to be red, okay? So I would make a line that goes from the back of the gills down like this right here, almost to the tip of the tail right there, like that. Okay? And a lot of fish, because they have scales, it looks like they've got dots on their back, little sparklies. So I take a pen and I just put some fish scales on there, kind of like that. Yeah. And they tend to be really heavy at the top right here, which makes it darker. We'll do a bunch of those right there like that. And then they're kind of not so many down here as you go down the midline. And then the bottom side of fish tend to be white bellies. Let's put a bunch more up here on the head right here, because fish have scales all over. Like this right here. Down to his little nose. Like that. See? Doesn't that look like a fishy? And you know what? Trout have those little errattles, which happen to be red dots. So let's see, we'll put some sparkles in here like this. Little red ones. There's a couple around the line here a little bit. Put some of those in there. There might be one or two out on the fins. Kind of like this. You know? And you just kind of decorate Mr. Fishy the way you want him to be. Let's put some down here on these. Yeah, like that. Okay. And there's Mr. Fish. Alrighty guys, I had a fun time making Mr. Fishy here for you. And I wanted to share this with you. And one last thing, you can take your glue stick, open Mr. Fish up right here, run a bead of glue inside, right here, get on both sides of his tail. Just like that. Okay, and then when you close it up, it should stay stuck in that position right there. So we want to make this fish look a little more 3D. This is just the last little thing that I like to do with them. These gill plates, if you kind of curve it up, it'll stick out a little bit. Let's do the same thing on the other side right here. Okay. That makes the head look more 3D, like that. And then these fins, because there are cats here, you can kind of plump them like this. Okay. See what we're doing there? And that way, instead of being a flat model, you can place it on the tabletop with those fins, and it will stand up like that. And it will look three-dimensional and real, like a real fish. And then the fish will swim away. Thank y'all very much for tuning in, and I'll make you another video as soon as I can. God bless y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.